Y'all know I love my song. Doom, doom, doom. Hello, and welcome to Marcella and Friends. Listen, y'all know how I do it. It's been a while. I've been missing in action, but I am back. And on any given Monday or Tuesday, I will show up here with some of my amazing super friends. And I am so excited about tonight because I have a super friend who is so special. She's doing great things. She brings joy to the life of others, and we are just going to have a great time. But before we get this party started, I just want to take a moment to again welcome you. I am Marcella D. Moore, also known as Cella D. Y'all, the life giver, the reminder, the motivator. And it is always my delight and pleasure to come on and to share my platform with the amazing people who are doing great things in this world. Especially we live in a time now that it is chaotic, is overwhelming. And sometimes I just shake my head. I can't even watch the news because watching the news can be depressing all in itself. It literally should be called Welcome to the Bad News, because they show so much and they talk about so much bad news. And if you want to be depressed, if you want to feel miserable, if you want to feel bad about yourself and life itself, all you got to do is turn on the news. The news is consistent. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to pull yourself away to make sure that you're not being caught up in that. And yes, as believers, we need to know certain things that are going on in the world so that we can know how to pray. But we just have to know how to rightly divide all of that so that we can make sure that we are not allowing ourselves to get pulled in a negative way. And so before we get started, I want to thank you, those of you, and welcome those of you who are watching the replay. The thing that I so love about social media, Facebook, YouTube, is that when you are not able to be here live with us, you have the opportunity from the comfort of your home, your car, wherever you may be, to just sit and watch the replay. And in watching the replay, I encourage you to post in the comments. I promise you that if you talk to us in the comments, I will follow up with you. We will make sure that we say hello and move forward in whatever you need from us. And so I am so excited tonight. And I just want to encourage you all to take a moment to like the broadcast. If you're on Facebook, feel free to share it. If you're watching us on live on YouTube, feel free to hit some hearts. You can copy the link. And I'm just excited because I'm happy that you're here. We say this is the place where purpose meets conversation, where stories spark hope, where we remind you that you are never too old and never too stuck to step boldly in what God has called you to do. And so once again, I'm excited because my super friend in the house is none other than the hilarious, brilliant, and absolutely unforgettable D.L. Douglas. I mean, you're in for laughter, insight, conversation that will bless your spirit and brighten your night. So please, y'all, just take a moment and do me the favor of going ahead, saying hello, and sharing this broadcast tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring my girl up to the stage simply so that she can, you know what, I'm going to try to do something, y'all. Y'all don't judge me on this, okay? Because before she comes, I want to do something here. I want you all to get a taste, just a teeny bit of taste of what you can expect from her tonight. And so just not tonight, but in the things to come. And I want those of you, because some of you might be feeling some type of way and you just might need your heart lifted. And I want to give you some laughter tonight. So I'm going to try this one thing. I'm going to see if it happens, y'all. If it don't work, don't judge me, okay? Just say, Stella, trying some stuff and it ain't working. But hold on a second. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. Let's see, share screen. We're going to get our girl on and I am going to share this clip with you. Can y'all, I hope y'all.
True, but you ain't have to write that down. Okay. I was 38 and 40 when I had my kids. And one day the doctor, she walked out the room and I looked at my chart. Do you know she labeled me obese geriatric? I was offended. So when she came back, I was like, excuse me, Dr. Patel, why would you label me obese geriatric. She was like, what? You were old and you are fat. I was like, true, but you ain't have to write that down. Okay.
Is that not hilarious? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That just was hilarious. So I am going to bring her to the stage, y'all, so she can spread so much joy and just tell us a little bit about herself. Hey, beautiful. How are you?
I am well. Thank you so much for having me. I forgot about that clip. I was like, that was funny. And it's funny because I believe that night was like the first night I did that joke. I was like, let me just try it. It was a theater full of people. And I was like, let me just see if it worked. And it worked. I was like, okay, I'm going to keep that.
That's the laugh that keeps on laughing, okay?
Yes.
So before we get started, I am going to put you on this screen all by yourself because I just want you to take a moment and introduce yourself. I want you to tell us all about you so that we can know with this wonderful more about this wonderful gift because you are truly a gift in the earth. And I just want you to tell the people, have a moment to tell the people all about your widow self.
Well, hello, everybody. I am GL Douglas. The GL stands for Gorgeous Lady. No, I'm joking. No, GL. Everybody always asks me, what does that stand for? My name is actually Georgette Latanya Douglas Henry because I am married. But I was like, I'm gonna keep my maiden name because that's where the money is. So, I am a wife. I'm a mother of two. And like I said in the video, I had my children a little bit later in life. So September 13th, I turned 47. And my kids are 6 and my daughter, my oldest, will be 9 on Thursday. So that's fun. Um, Trying to sit crisscross applesauce at a teachers conference for my that and I have arthritis. So but enough about that. I've also been in education for 24 years now. So I'm a teacher and I've been doing stand-up comedy for 20 years. And let me tell you, never in a million years, if somebody would have told me that this would be my life and this is what I would be doing as a little girl, I was like, mm. I've always had a knack for the arts. I've always been drawn to the arts. I've done everything from a choir director to actress and things like that. But I was always also very much into my books and my studies. So I was never like a class clown or anything, but I always had a personality. I always had a personality. In fact, in middle school and high school, I was voted best personality. And I just never thought that I would use my personality to now spring me into a career that has definitely taken me so many places and allowed me to meet so many people and just been able to just be a joy bell to the kingdom, not just the kingdom, because I take my comedy outside of the four walls of the church. I do everything from colleges to corporate to clubs, and I am just authentically me, and I just walk in the purpose that God has called me to do. So, is that it? Is that good?
That's awesome. That is awesome. And so, as you know, I mentioned to you already, Marcella and Friends. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, on and off, working on being super consistent. I was real consistent at one point. Then life happens, and then I come back. But the fact that these platforms are available to us for me to be able to come and just share so much life with people based on not only my life, but the life of the amazing guests that God allows me to have on here. And one of the things, because I am a purpose, they call me the purpose pusher. I'm like all things purpose, all things empowerment. And so I love talking about purpose because I think that, and I believe that one of the reasons that so many people struggle today is because they don't know who they are. They don't know their purpose. They don't understand why they are here. And
Right.
so I like to talk about purpose. And so when you hear the word purpose, what does purpose mean to you?
Purpose to me, in a nutshell, means the reason, your reason, right? It is what defines who you are, what defines what makes you tick. It defines your motivation, and I believe that purpose, especially for me, um, purpose, again, we could have one plan, but then when you really connect to God and you really ask God to expose your purpose, it could be something so totally different than anything that you ever thought or imagined. But once you discover it, it becomes your reason, your why.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so important. So I'm getting this notification from Streamheart Yard that they're having difficulties on Facebook with this broadcast, and they're not able to stream it properly. So I'm just going to take a moment, real quick. I'm going to share the um, YouTube on here so that people can find us over on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, and so just that Facebook, I tell you, it just sometimes just don't want me to be great. I mean, it is
That's
crazy.
okay.
It
Yeah.
is crazy. It is crazy. And
Yeah.
so now it's not letting me do. Okay, so I am going to yep, see on here it says broadcast ended. Oh man, let me put this on, please. Join us on YouTube. And then when they Facebook don't want you to show the YouTube link, this is crazy.
That's okay. We still gonna push through anyway.
Yes, yes.
And
Okay.
hello to everyone who's joined in. I see Jacqueline and Regina. Thank you guys so much for joining. And
Yeah, so hopefully they'll see that, and then if not, I'll just be able to link it to them. But yeah, thank you, StreamYard, for letting us know
that was very nice.
that you're having a hard time seeing me over here. And so okay, so I just put the that yeah, so it's there. All right. Oh goodness. So yep. So it's not, but it's okay because I mean I've done these broadcasts where it kicked me all the way out, and my guest has just had to go on and run the show. So you know what? You just got to be able to roll with it. I've been on here. My guests have fallen off and never come back.
Yeah,
And
you just
so
gotta be ready for
you just
anything.
got to keep on going and keep it moving, and trust that those who need to see it will see it. But the good
Absolutely.
thing about it is that I'll be able to edit this, and I'll be able to show it, bring it back as a video on Facebook and on YouTube, if there are any issues. So we're not gonna sweat it. I'm still happy that you're here. I know somebody's gonna get happy. I know that this is gonna be a wonderful experience, and I can't wait to talk about the amazing things that you are doing. And so we talked about purpose, and I love what you said about purpose. And you talked about when you were doing your introduction about when you were a little girl, you never ever realized or thought that you would be able to have the life that you have, and in terms of your comedic gift. When was the very first time that you knew that this was a God given gift and that God was calling you to do this consistently?
Wow. So you have to understand, like, I grew up in an old school house. Like my parents, they my parents, neither one of them went to college. So they drilled into me and my sister that we had to go to school, had to get an education, had to, get degrees. And I did that. I am a proud graduate of North Carolina Central University, which is a HBCU.
All right.
Yes, Eagle Pride. And so I got my degree in elementary education. And funny story, while I was there, I had a professor um who said to me, I know you're in school for, I think at the time I might have been a nursing major. I don't, because I switched my major. She said, I know you, she said, but the spirit is telling me acting, acting. She just kept saying that to me. Like, my college professor. And I was like, girl, you better not let my mama hear this. You paying all this money. If I go home and tell her I want to be an actress, she's gonna fight me and you. So she was like, it's just on your life. And I was like, okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this degree that I'm paying for. And but I've always had a knack for acting. I've always, even in high school, I wrote a couple of plays and everything like that. But you know, when your parents are like, "That's not you're not gonna be able to make a living off that,"
Right.
so they just wanted me to secure something so that I could always take care of myself. So long story short, I got the degree. And funny that you talk about purpose because I was living in North Carolina and I was attending this church and my pastor did this series on purpose. And he just kept talking about it and it just kept resonating with my spirit. And I was like, God, and now mind you, I had graduated college, I had a bomb apartment, I had a car, I had a career. I was like, the next thing left was to just secure a husband, have some children, and, live life happily ever after. But after listening to my pastor talk about purpose, I literally called home and said, Mom and Dad, I need to move home. And it was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I said, no, I just feel like I need to come back to New Jersey because there's something else I'm supposed to be doing outside of teaching. So I left my own apartment and moved back in with my parents for a year and a half. Do you know? You got to be really called by God to give up your own freedom in your own place to move back in with your parents.
Yes.
Okay. So I did it. And one night I grew up in Roselle. I went out to this place called Mike's Tavern and there was a guy standing there talking about come to my open mic. And I walked up to him and I said, well, if I come to your open mic, will you let me do comedy? And he was like, well, are you a comedian? And I was like, yep. Mind you, I never did comedy a day in my life, but I'm not going to say I lied, but I was speaking those things that be not as though they were. That's what the Bible says, right? And so he was like, well, you know who I am? And I said, no. Long story short, it was Bob Sumner, who is the creator of Def Jam. That's who I was standing
Wow.
alone to.
Wow.
So the next night I went to his open mic. I got up there. I said something. Regina King was in the building. It was like a bunch of people. And Hamburger was hosting, comedian Hamburger.
That's my
And
buddy. Yeah.
I said some stuff, and Hamburger was like, young lady, who are you? And how long have you been doing comedy? And I was like, I've never done this before. And he was like, yeah, right. He was like, you like those girls that you meet in the club and you take them home? They be like, I've never done this before. And I was like, no, I really have never done this before. And that night, I booked 5 shows that night.
Wow.
And it just happened. And here we are 20 years later.
Yeah. Because I know Alonzo, I call him Alonzo Hamburger.
Yeah.
He used to do a lot of shows and stuff in New Brunswick. And, at one point, clean comedy was just as it was coming out and, people doing comedy and not using profanity and things like that. And he was doing so many shows and he was all in New Brunswick and things like that.
Yeah.
So he was around us for a very long time.
He became my mentor. He took me under his wing and really, showed me the ropes and introduced me to a lot of people. So I always believe in giving credit when credit is due. And Hamburger did that for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's always good when people can have a conversation about you and say nice things. And that's my goal in life. Like I'm getting older and I tell people all the time, my goal right now is to have 1,000 visitors in the nursing home come and see me when I get older. For the people to tell my kids, what you got to stop. You got to tell all these people to stop coming to see your mother because, and I'm like, I'm nice to everybody because I want y'all to remember me when I'm old and I might not remember myself. I want y'all to come and remember me. I want you to overwhelm my children's house and all of that stuff. That's what I'm living for now for my visitors in my old age.
Well, there's a goal I've never heard before, but okay. There's a bucket list.
Yes, because I have so many family members who get older and they become so mean and oh my God, it's nothing like I've never seen before. Not to gave my kids permission. already. I said, if I start acting crazy when I get older and stuff, I give you permission to take me in the back, jag me up real good, tell me, and then I'll be all right. I give you permission while I'm in my right mind.
While you in the right mind, you gotta get it in writing though.
Yeah, you're right.
Put that in writing.
Yeah, so no, but it's a good thing when you can find people who see God's gift in you and to mentor you and to help nurture you. And it goes a long way. And I think today that's the thing that a lot of people, not just in what you're doing, not just in ministry, but just across the board, you don't see a lot of people mentoring people and helping them along the way. We churchy, with the
Right,
old mothers used to pull us along the side and give us some wisdom and say this and all of that. So,
right.
it's good to hear and know that you can say that not only did someone speak into your life concerning who God has called you to be, but you found somebody who saw God's gift in you and helped nurture that in you and help you be the gift and the jewel that you are today. I mean, I am honored. I am privileged able to have the GL Douglas
That is so funny.
on
Come to
my
my classroom, tell my students there. They be like, Miss Henry,
yeah.
okay.
And so I work with children before they go to school. It's the early morning program. So I have them 2 hours pre-K to fourth graders. And the other day, my one of the kindergartners in the fifth grade, and he told me we were just talking about age and things like that. So he said, my mom was born in 1918. And I said, no, baby, your mother was not born in 19. He got so angry with me. I said, okay.
Just mind your business. Let them
I
think.
said, I am so sorry. Because
Sometimes you
my
gotta be
mom
like, why
was
am I
born
fighting with
in
this?
1918, and I know because she told me, she said she was born in 1980. Okay, baby. All right, mommy was born in 1918. I'm
He
like,
got the
all
numbers
right.
reversed. 1981 probably.
She probably right. She probably said the 80s, but he was so determined. And he
Hmm.
started getting upset with me. I said, I'm gonna leave this baby alone. His mama
Yeah.
was born in 1918.
Sometimes you just gotta pick your battles with kids. I'll be like, you know what? Okay, you right.
And what ages do you teach? I mean, what
I teach
grade do you
second
teach?
grade. Second grade.
Second
Yeah.
grade, okay.
I've taught everything for literally from kindergarten to eighth grade except first grade. It's the only grade I've never taught. And I have discovered that I am going to retire and be done in second grade. It's the best grade. It's the
So
best.
do
But you know
you
what? They're not too babyish. I did kindergarten. That was the worst year
right.
of my life. I wanted to throw myself down a flight of stairs every time I went to work so I could collect workers' comp. Because kindergarten, I can't tie shoes. I can't zip coats. I can't do that. Like you give a test, they don't know what page 11 is. So you walk around, you turn everybody page to page 11. By the time you finish, somebody is on page 32.
Right,
Why?
right.
I don't have I don't have that in me. I don't have
My
the patience.
my girlfriend went from teaching fourth graders, and they put her in with kindergartners. She quit teaching after that. She was devastated. She
Same. I was in fifth grade for a long time. And then, you give new administrators, they always trying to do stuff, shake stuff up, and so he thought it was a good idea to put me with Ken. First of all, my personality is this. Do I seem like a kindergarten teacher personality wise?
right.
Absolutely not.
Oh my
Like I'm
goodness.
sarcastic. I'm like, I tell jokes. They don't get it. Like I would say something that I thought was hilarious, and they did not get it. It's like I want out of here. I hate it here. So I was going to throw myself down some steps so I could go home.
Oh God, that's torture right there, though.
Yeah, horrible.
And so now you're in you with second graders, and you really like second
I
graders.
love second grade.
So do
They
you teach in an urban area
I
or
do. I
okay?
teach in Jersey City,
Ooh,
which
okay.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I
Wow.
love it because they need you, they appreciate you.
Yeah.
They're not entitled. They could be a little rough,
Yeah.
but so can I. So we just match each other's energy. So I like it, like, and I don't understand, like, my kids really love me. And understand, like, people think because I'm a comedian like that, I'm a goofy goof
Right.
troop. I'm not. Like, I am the same way I talk to my two girls is the same way I talk to my students. I fuss, I'm yelling, I have my foot on their neck, and they just like, Miss Henry, we love you. I'll be like, why? Why? I just punished you yesterday.
No, but children are loving and forgiving and caring. They really are.
They are. They
They
are.
really are. No, that's awesome though. It's awesome. And it's when and I tell people that I say a lot of times we looking for money, we looking for certain things, but what I've learned is that your wealthy place is in your purpose. And so when you know what you've been called to do and when you know that you're doing what God has called you to do, there's a level of wealth there. It may not necessarily be the money that we always talk about, but the
Right.
peace, the
Right.
joy,
Right.
a sense of belonging, all of that. That's wealth right there. That's
That's
wealth right
true.
there because it's people with money who don't know what their purpose is. It's people with
Absolutely.
money who have no peace. It's people with money, even though the Bible says money answers all things and it's nice to have, and I love when I have it, it's still a level of balance there.
So,
And knowing your
mhm,
purpose, it
mhm.
really, really helps.
My therapist, yes, I have a therapist. My therapist once told me, she said, you're really blessed because you have not one but two careers that you love and deem purposeful. Some people go a lifetime and don't even find one.
That's
So
right.
the mere fact that you found two, count yourself blessed. And I was like, that's so true. And then I've been able to marry the two careers because a lot of my material comes from my children and they write it for me. I'm like, I can't make this up. Say that again. Let me write that down so I can use this on stage because somebody has to hear this.
No,
Somebody has to hear that I was giving you a spelling test and you raised your hand and said, does spelling count? Are you out your mind? The spelling. Like, nobody would ever believe that that
Oh God,
is a real
yeah,
thing.
they and so because I work with them for 2 hours in the morning, then I go to my job. I work for legal services, and so it's like my kids are like my adult kids. My daughter's 35, my son is 31. They already know that I love children. I worked
Mm,
at a church with kids for 7 years. When that was over, I started doing this, and then I go to my full-time job. But it's like they give me so much life. They give
yeah.
me so much life. We have a autistic girl. She's been
Mhm,
with us. I've been doing this for 4 years. She's been with us for 3 years. The first time she said my name, I almost cried like a baby. I was
mhm,
out sick about 2 months. Well, we got, what is this, November? So the beginning of September, I was out sick. They said she asked about me. When I came back, she said, Miss Marcella, you're back. How you doing?
oh,
Girl, you talking about some joy and just brought so much joy to my heart because children are just, they're innocent, they're pure, they're genuine.
yeah,
You have some that are really bad and all that kind of stuff, but for the most part,
yeah.
for
You
the
do.
most part, they are so precious and I love them. And every day I come home with the story. Every day I come home with the story and I'm just cracking up.
Absolutely.
They are
So
hilarious.
it actually gave birth to another vision of mine that I've been doing now for like 5 years. I produce a show at the end of the year called Class Dismissed.
Mm,
And every year we sell it out right there in New Brunswick at the Stress Factory.
I say I
Um,
never knew that. So
yeah,
that's
we sell it out. We get predominantly teachers, but it's open to any and everybody. So I know several comedians who are also in education. So I always try to put at least one more um, comedian on the show, but then I just have all kinds of regular comedians too. And so it initially started, I initially did it in 2000, I want to say 12, 13. And it was called the SGO comedy show. So if you're in education, you know what SGOs are, student growth objectives. It was like this new rollout that the state was mandating, and teachers were like so stressed because if you did not meet your SGO goals, it was like a lot of. So one day I was in a staff meeting, and and they were talking about this, and I just looked around and saw the stress on all the teachers' faces, and I said, you know what, God, I should produce a show for teachers, and I'm going to call it the SGO Comedy Show, and I'm going to have it stand for Snickers, Giggles, and Outbursts. And I rented out the theater at New Jersey City University, NJCU.
Mm-hmm.
We had about 800 teachers come, and it was phenomenal. And we did it for 3 years in a row, but then unfortunately I had 3 business partners, and my mom passed, my other business partner, her mom passed, and then our 3rd business partner, he actually passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and then I had children, we got married. It was a whole thing, so we kind of just put it on pause. And then COVID happened, and I was like, and I started seeing all of these teacher, comedians, internet, and I was like, I was doing this first, you know. I was so mad at myself because, life happened, and
Right.
I became a mom, and so I said, you know what, just because they're out on social media, I'm going to resume it. And I didn't want to do a theater. I wanted to do like a more intimate. And so I rented out the Stress Factory, which is a very well-known, prominent comedy club. And I didn't want to call it SGOs anymore because SGOs are kind of become obsolete anyway in education. So I decided to call it Class Dismissed. Because if you want to excite a teacher, tell them class is dismissed. And 300 teachers showed up, and they've been
Wow.
coming for the past several years, and they look forward to it every June. And then the teachers convention in Atlantic City, I did it down there as well.
That's
So
the first week in November, right?
yes,
Yeah. I
yes,
love that week.
yeah,
20 days off.
yeah. So I took it down there, and I
Okay.
did it. I didn't do it this year only because all of my time, energy, and resources have been going into my show for
Right.
December 7th, but the teachers, they're loving it, and I'm trying to get the NJEA to buy into it and sponsor it. Like, give me a budget and let me
Right.
produce it versus me, doing all the hustle and bustle. So
No,
it's
I
cool.
pray that I touch and agree with your, that request, and I pray that God gives you the resources and touches the heart of the person who is in charge so that that can be manifested for you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
in
And,
Jesus' name. Amen.
amen. And that brings me to the point that people talk about purpose, right? But sometimes people have to understand you have to be willing to invest in you. You got to be willing to say, you know what, I know what God called me to do. And I'm going to tell you, it is scary
Hmm.
especially when it's your first one. But you have to be willing to take that risk and invest in yourself. Some people would like to say you got to bet on you. And throughout my life, that's been like my testimony. I've never been afraid to bet on me. Sometimes you're going to win and sometimes you're going to learn. You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't lose,
That's right.
but I learn,
Yeah.
and yeah, which is
No, and I
awesome.
love that because I'm like that too. I say I either win or I learn.
That's right.
You either
Absolutely.
win or learn. And so, since we're talking about this, let's go ahead and segue into this amazing step of faith
Yes.
that you just spoke about that you have for December 7th. That's my sister's birthday, by the way.
Yeah, so
And
you're supposed to come
she lives,
celebrate.
she's in North Carolina. She lives in North.
Funny thing is, I just got a call from somebody yesterday. I kid you not. Told me she is flying in from North Carolina to come to my show.
Wow.
And I tell you that thing blessed me.
Yes.
I was like, are you serious? She was like, you've always, I did her daughter's wedding. And she was like, anytime I've called on you, you've been there. So I can reciprocate. Nah, that thing almost had me in tears. So,
No, that's awesome. So let's talk about it like this. Tell me about when you first got the vision And after you got the vision, what was the first three things that you did to put it into place?
Oh, that's a good question. Why does everyone ask me that? So it's in Carteret, New Jersey. I was hired to do a Black History event, and it's the Carteret Pack, but they have a couple of event spaces. So I was in the basement at this space called the Underground. Beautiful, beautiful event space, like lights, everything. So the lady who hired me, she said, "Do you want a tour of the whole place?" I said, "Sure." She took me to the theater. I like it was breathtaking. It's brand new. Showed me all the dressing rooms. I was like, wow. And I said, I'm going to do something here. I said it. Now this was 2 years ago. I said, I'm going to do something here. And so the next February, they hired me again to do the same Black History event. And I said, I know that I saw this theater, but can you please let me see it again? Right. And I went to the theater and I said, take a picture of me. And I stood on stage, and there's a picture. I had it posted on my page. It's a picture of me standing on stage and the chairs in the back. And I said, I'm speaking and declaring that I am going to do something in this theater. Mind you, sidebar, they don't let they don't let a lot of African American people in this theater. Let's be clear.
Mm.
Okay. So the girl who's with me, she happens to work for the mayor, and I said I want to do something. I said I don't want to just do a comedy show. I produce comedy shows all the time, and in this area, like, let's be realistic, comedy shows are a dime a dozen. You can go see comedy any night, any given, and the theater is 1,600 seats. And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to. So I said I want to do praise and laughter. I want to marry gospel and comedy together. And I said, I'm going to do it. I have a couple of people that I do business with, like, when I'm producing different shows. I
Mm-hmm.
called them, I told them, and they were on board, and they were like, we're going to do it with you. And I was like, really? And so it's four of us that's working. It's literally four a 4-person machine. This ain't no, whatever. And the lady, her name is Taquala. Taquala's actually on the show. Taquala set me up with the theater director to do a walkthrough and to talk about the budget and everything. The lady, when I was talking, she was so impressed. She said, "Can I ask you something?" She said, "I do an event here for these high schoolers. Would you be willing to, like," she wanted me to commentate something. I said, "Sure." And it was free of charge. She was like, so she, in the midst of her giving me the information about the theater, she actually hired me to do an outside event. Like, I didn't, it was for free. And I was like, sure. So when she came back and she gave me the price of the theater, I was blown away. Not that I had it right in my, but it was, when I tell you it was favor, it was
Mm.
favor, it was favor, because that theater, they could easily charge $20,000 easily. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is for everything, right? Don't give me no. This is, and then at the end, it was like, but you ain't read the fine print. I was like,
Right, right, right.
this is the number. She was like, yes. And so I immediately called the 4 people. They said we need $1,000 deposit. I said, you got it. And I wrote the check. When you write a check, that's when it really becomes like, okay, God, we really doing this. Like, that was you asked what it was the first, you got to write the check.
Yes.
Because when you write the check, that means you're committed, right? That means now you have no choice but to make this happen. And now it goes from, this is just words and this is a thought. Now we are actually putting this into action. And so I had to sow into the vision. So I guess
Yeah.
a good word. I had to sow into it first. You know what I mean? And once I sowed into it, I said, all right, God. And can I tell you, Marcia, and I don't mean to be long-winded on this, but I have,
Please take your time. This is good. This is blessing somebody. Trust me.
and just thinking about it, I don't want to cry. I've never done anything like this on this magnitude. Like I said, I produce comedy. Comedy shows are easy. Comedy is it's one stage, one mic, one person, a DJ. You are done. That's your show. That's why they're easy and cost effective to do, right? But now you're bringing musical guests, and I'm not just bringing like anybody. Like I'm bringing a nationally recording artist. So that requires music and backline. I was like, what is a backline? And then when they sent me a quote, I was like, don't nobody got a organ at their house that they could bring? I got a keyboard. Like nobody has a set of drums we could buy. But let me tell you something. God said to me, every piece of this puzzle, you already have it in your hand. Every piece. Like when I didn't know certain things, it's like along the way I have met people. And like you said, I'm always nice to people. I believe in being kind. I've always been kind to people. So every piece of the puzzle, when I didn't know how I was going to get this person said, I'll do this. This person said, this is who you need to call. Every piece of the puzzle, I was like, it's right here in my hand. Even today when I got this email from the theater, it was like speaking Spanish. And I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. But this guy at my church, he does production. He actually does production for the Tamron Hall show. And I had brought him on. I sent him the email. He answered everything because they speak that language. I don't know. And God was like, when you put a puzzle together, you got to have patience. And you got to know that you got to take the time to put it together, but you got the pieces. And that's what this show is. I'm sorry.
What are you apologizing for? This is good.
That's what this show is really showing me. That along the way in these 20 years, you've collected all of these pieces and you just held them. But now it's time to put the puzzle together. And putting the puzzle together is scary. And it's like, because folks wait to the last minute to buy
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, God, this ain't a 300 seat. This is 1,600. This is a different level. This is like a lot of money invested. This is like a lot of faith. But today it's like God tapped me on the shoulder and was like, I told you. I got you.
Yeah.
So sorry.
And I love thank you for sharing that. I love what you said, and I don't even think you realize how powerful what you said when God told you already have it in your hands. All of the years of building relationships, all of the years of sowing into other people, all of the times when you took less from what you knew you were owed because you wanted to be a blessing to somebody. These are all of the things that the deposits that you were making into your account. And now God is saying it's time for you to withdraw because you have it so that you can not only see what I'm capable of in you and through you, but you can see why I called you to be a blessing unto others, because that's what this is, the fellowship piece. You know, so many times we get together, we go to funerals, we go for down stuff, but anytime, that's why when we talked about Bishop Seawright's birthday party, it was so powerful because everybody was coming together for a joyous occasion. And so when you talk about praise and laughter, you created this platform in this safe space for people to be able to come together and leave home the disappointments, the letdowns, everything that they're experiencing, the diagnosis, all of that stuff. You're giving them permission to leave all of that stuff home and to be able to come into the safe space where they can not only praise God and give him the glory for what they believe that he is going to do, regardless of where they may be in that moment, and then to laugh because and it just left me a merry heart. Thank you, Holy Spirit. A merry heart doeth good like medicine. And so you just creating this space. And all of the years, this is everything that you have built up. And this is the path and the space that God is showing you, that He's given you to manifest
Yeah.
everything that He's given you. It's already in your hands. Now you just got to be open. And if any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God. God, give me the wisdom. You gave me this vision.
Right.
You gave this to me. I didn't create this on my own. You gave this to me. So I'm trusting that you're going to give me the wisdom, and you're going to connect all of the dots so
That's
that
right.
you can get the glory out of all of this.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly.
And so
Exactly.
that message right there is all that you got. It's in your hands. You got it already. That's a message within itself. And then you took a step of faith. You was like, take a picture of me up on the stage. Take a picture of me.
Yeah.
Take a picture, and that got the ball rolling right then and there. And then you said you wrote the check, you made the deposit, you made the investment. And God is not going to, he's not going to let you be ashamed.
Thank you.
And so I'm excited for you. I'm so
Thank you.
excited for you, just the level of faith, because this is definitely a faith move, but He is
It
going
is.
to show you that you were creative you were created to live a faith-filled, purpose-driven life. And because of everything that you've done, it's going to be a blessing. And so I'm
Thank
excited
you.
for you. I'm excited.
Thank
So tell us all about it. Now, we talked about what led up to it and how you got it and what you did. Now tell us what this night is going to look like.
Well, it's going to be when you come in, we're gonna have vendors. We have a lot of people who reached out to us about vendors. We're gonna have a step and repeat, a red carpet. We want you to come take a picture. Doors will open at 2 o'clock. At 2:45. Oh, we have Apollo's own DJ Jess, who was the DJ for the show for the Apollo.
All right.
He will be playing music as you come in. At 2:45, we're gonna have a slight pre-show because we want you to take advantage of the vendors, but we don't want people to sit there for an hour waiting for the show to start. So at 2:45, I have some great comedic friends of mine who are gonna come and do some interactive things. But at 3 o'clock, my pastor, Pastor Lawrence Powell, will be praying. And then at 3:02, the band is going to start. Um, we have like a soloist, and then we have a comedian by the name of Chris Clark. Also, another powerful piece. My mom, who passed away in 2017. I'm honoring 4 women who have made a tremendous impact in my life and who are doing great works in just the community. We will be honoring them with an award in my mom's honor called the Joyce Douglas Crown and Grace Award.
Wow.
So, Pastor Mary C. Wright is one of the recipients of that award, as well as Dr. Odessa McNeil, who is a member of my church, Denise Gordine, who does phenomenal work for cancer survivors, and then another lady named Shanique Telefaro. She has created the Black Women of New Jersey Network and brought thousands of women together. So I was so honored that they accepted the award. So we're going to honor them. And it's not going to be me sitting up there being like, Dr. Oh, Dustin McNeil. I'm not doing that. I'm not reading. I'm doing video packages where I'm just going to speak from the heart about each one and what they've done to help push my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to acknowledge that. And then we're going to have another comedian, and then we're going to take it home with recording artist Melvin Crispell III. So it's going to be a night to remember.
Yeah, that is so excited. That is so excited.
And
And
then
so
on December 8th, I'm going to go breathe.
I'm like, that's it. People always ask me when I'm doing stuff and I'm having events. It's like, what are you most excited about the next
The
day?
next day.
And
But you
so,
know what else I'm going to do though? When this goes well,
mhm,
I'm going to secure my date for next year.
there you go. There you go. Because now that's another level of faith. And most of the time, um, when you get one thing that I've learned about doing events, I've been doing events for forever. And one thing that I would do differently that I have not done, that I would do better that I have not done, is be prepared to be able to give them the information for next year right then and there. And I have not, I've never done that. And I had to ask myself, why haven't I done it? Oh, because you think that in deep down inside it's like, oh, because you might not have enough and you might not be able to do it. But when you take that level of faith and when you tell people for them to be able to prepare for the next go around, then you give them an opportunity to prepare, to be there. And so
Yeah.
that's for me something that I'm saying I got to do better at. And so I'm giving
Mhm.
that wisdom to you as well. Even if
Yeah,
you could have that date before, that would be very helpful.
that is true. That is
That'll
very true.
yeah.
That is very true. And one of the things that I've learned in this process, right? Because um like even when I went for sponsorship, like
Mm,
to like these corporations, they when we sent the proposal, they were like, this looks amazing, but our funds have been allotted already for the year.
right.
I didn't realize corporations, they allot their money like the
In
beginning
advance.
in advance.
Yep.
So I said, okay, put that in my pocket.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to be prepared, have my date for next year. So now I can go with my sponsorship and say, listen, this is the date. This so now I'm prepared to tell them what we're doing,
Yep.
and when we're gonna do it. So absolutely. My goal and my prayer is just to become an annual thing.
Yeah. No, and that's awesome. That's amazing. And I know that and each time it will get better and better. And so again, I'm so excited. What we can do, you'll give me the link and stuff, and I'll make sure that I put it in this. Go on Facebook with it. I have to fix all of this because
Mm,
Facebook is completely gone. I just checked it. It ended the video like maybe 15 minutes after we were in, but that's okay because
mm.
old faithful YouTube over here got us going. And we're going to do it. So I will definitely put the link for people to be able to purchase tickets,
Okay.
and then we'll go from there. I do want to share. Let me grab that flyer really quick so people can see the flyer. And so let's do this. We're excited. We're excited, and I know that it's going to be amazing. So,
Thank
um, I don't want to say give me any ending words or I don't know final words. I want you to give me some closing words because we don't have final words because I believe you're gonna be back again talking about it and
you.
telling us all about it and all that kind of stuff. And anytime you have an event, anytime you got something coming up, you hit me up. Say, "Sell, I got something." They call me Sell in these streets.
Yeah. Okay.
You,
Absolutely.
anytime you have something, let me know. If you want to bring people on with you, I can have up to 10 people on the screen
Okay.
with me. So anytime you want to do something, I am so here. And I'm because I got to get back in these streets. I was doing this big time. And but
Okay.
it's I know that I got it, and this is my beginning of getting back on course. But anytime you have anything, just let me know. Hit me up. We could do any given Monday or any
Okay.
given Tuesday,
Got
and
you.
we can do it. So I want to give you an opportunity to share some closing words for tonight.
Okay. Well, first, I want to say thank you so much for having me. Thank you for allowing me to really, I guess, tap into, you get so busy doing, you don't really have time to really sit down and be like, wait. And so tonight, this was my first time really sitting down to be like, wait, this is really happening and allow me to be vulnerable and emotional. My ending words will just be just bettering you, invest in you, and believe in you and what God has called you to do. I mean, it sounds so cliche, but it's so real. It's so real. And no matter the output, no matter what happens, I'm going to come out of this process like smarter, wiser, better, just all around. It's on another level on in so many ways. So that's my that's my closing statement.
Listen, if you like it, I love it. That sounds good to me. And no, no, you said a mouthful. And so I know tonight, one thing I know for sure, tonight was for you and for them. And
It was.
so I felt your spirit, and I just know that God is doing something amazing, and it is real. This
Thank
is real. God's got you, and this is so real. So I appreciate you. Thank God for you. And I just know that I can't wait to hear all about it. I'm going to do my best. I'm not sure if I'm available that day,
you.
but I'm going to do my best. And even if I can't be there, I'm going to definitely sow a seed. And that's for those of you who are watching. If you have something to do, you can't be there, you can buy a ticket for someone else, or you can just sow a seed, because that's what we believe in supporting each other. So I'm
Yes.
grateful. And so
Thank
that's
you.
it. And to the wonderful, amazing GL Douglas, tell us, everybody, how they can follow you on social media. Where are you?
Yes, please follow me. Not in your car, but on social media. On Instagram, I'm comedian GL Douglas, and on Facebook, I'm GL Douglas. And GL is spelled GL. Okay, thank you. You'd be surprised, honey.
No, because listen, when we talked, I said, let me see, it's like the GL, right? GL.
Yes.
And so that is so amazing. So listen, family, thank you all so much for being here. For those of you who joined us live, my apologies for the technical difficulties over on the book, but we are over here on the tube. And so we are so grateful. And I'm grateful that you joined us tonight. If you missed us at any point, feel free to watch the replay. The replay live will be there. I also upload an edited version of this just so that you can get the meat of everything that was shared and said tonight. So thank you all. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be blessed. Know that you are never too old to be who you should have been. Know that you have to be a part of your own rescue. Nobody else is coming to save you. You got to rise up. You got to do it yourself. And just know that God's got you. And if you believe that, and you know that it's your time to walk in purpose, and be everything God has called you to be. Your past does not dictate your future. Your past does not have permission to direct the movement of your future. When your past calls you up on the phone, hang up. So just stand strong, stand tall. I don't care what you have done, what mistakes. I just put this on social media the other day. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. So y'all, come on, let's do better. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stand in the authority and the power of who God has called you to be. You are amazing. You are awesome. You are blessed. You are beautiful. And you are everything that God has called you to be. He loves you. He has not forgotten you, and you matter. So until we meet again on any given Monday or any given Tuesday, meet me here for Marcella and Friends, where I share my amazing super friends with you so that we can talk about purpose, and you can learn about the amazing gifts and events and services that they have coming up. So y'all be blessed. Have an amazing night. And Miss Comedian Teacher GL Douglas, thank you again for joining us tonight, sharing your wisdom, and being in the house.
Thank you.